everybody, welcome back to the channel. Thursday afternoon and I'm skiving, taking some flexi time, self-inflicted or self-managed flexi time, just to catch the last of the really good weather before it breaks down in time for the weekend. So I've kind of taken a half day basically. This weather is fantastic and I thought we'll just make this a really simple, easy camp. Just keep it really minimal gear, minimal shelter, and just go for the weight savings this time around. Just keep it nice and easy. Not too shabby, eh? Where are we? Middle of March, end of March. Feels almost like summer. Oops, we better give that back to somebody. Yep, you can see why it's such a beautiful and popular spot, especially at this time of year when it's just that wee bit quieter and not spoilt. Somebody's got a wee tent on the beach here. Let's hope it's not one of those dodgy abandoned ones by fishermen or whatever. Looks quite tidy, to be fair. We'll go and check it out. Standing in the way. What a day. Hopefully it's been worth coming out. Yeah, unfortunately this is the reality of the national park and we're just at the start of the season. So it's only March, but apparently there's a wildfire warning out, so no log for me tonight, no open fires. Better play sensible on it, and I can see why. It is really dry, and if you look at the water level on Loch Lomond here, it's significantly lower than I've seen it for a while. So there's obviously been a dearth of rainfall and everything has dried out. We'll see what it's like when we get to the camp area. I've got a wee spot that I've earmarked. I'm hoping will be quite nice. Easy to get to, again. Just keeping the whole thing nice and simple. So we head away from the loch now. That's the loch view's over for a while. I'm heading inland and then up a wee steep hill up to where I spotted a nice little camp spot, a wee promenade. Yeah, with a nice view north and west. There might be a wildfire warning, but that last bit here was manky. My shoes are clatty. But then they are so loud, I could probably do with a bit of mud on them just to stop me looking like a beacon when I'm walking the hills. Bright yellow banana shoes, banana boots. So I'm kind of on a variation of the West Highland Way here. Not far off the main route, but it is almost like a variation or deviation, a bit like the TMB with alternative paths you can take. And we came down this the other day, Jan and I, a couple of weeks ago, and I thought, oh, lovely wee spot up there, easy to get to. And it would make for a really nice, simple, gadget-free, ultralight camp. So that's the plan tonight, even though I'm out of breath, as you can tell. There's a right wee thorny area ahead here, probably get ripped to shreds Try not to tear my pack or my clothing. It is quite jaggy. Only stabbed myself 3 times so far, that's not bad. If we draw a quarter litre of blood, I can afford it. I can afford to lose it. Try not to sweat actually because I've got no change of clothes, so I don't want to get this dry fit too wet. That's pretty nice, eh? Not too shabby. Looking right across to the Luss Hills on the other side of Loch Lomond. And if you look north, you'll see more of this later on, Ben Lomond, the most southerly Monroe. Only a couple of steeper zigzags to go now, I think. And we should have broken the worst of it. Wow. Despite the light pack, I'm out of breath, but I haven't been using the walking poles and it does make a difference. Just couldn't be bothered taking them out of the pack at the moment. However, I think we're getting there. There's a farm below me, so you can hear the dogs yapping away there. They're not just normal dogs, they're sheep dogs. The smell of these is like strong coconut. It's like a toiletry. I think these are gorse bushes, is that right? If I'm wrong, put it in the comments below and I apologise now. There's a wee gap looking back towards the Campsies. And it's beginning to feel a bit more like a golf course now. Lovely shortcut grass with what looks like well-drained soil. So we'll see how this looks round about up here somewhere. So this is the first potential spot here actually. I could probably get my solo tent in here. What I might do though is I'll head up another 100 feet or so, and I think there's another wee platform, might be bigger. We'll check that out as an option as well. No sign of any water sources for quite a distance, but I did fill up at the loch. So I've got about 750 mils there and about another 300-400 in here, which might just see me through the night. What I like about this section is you're so close to the loch, you get more of a loch view. You get more of a northerly view in case of northern lights tonight, and more of a view of the Ben. As I go further up, I gain height, but it starts to obscure some of the loch in Ben Lomond. Anyway, we'll carry on up about another quarter of a mile. I'm actually on the southern boundary fault, so this is actually an earthquake fault line running right along here and across and over the loch, which is what the islands are. So any earth tremors tonight, I'll be the first to feel them. So we're camping on an earthquake zone. This one's peeing at me in indignation. Oh, so this is another spot here. A wee bit more lumpy, I'm not so sure about this one. There is a third one, just another 100 yards away. We'll go and check that out as well, and then at least I know I've looked at all possible options. I was a bit concerned about the wind up here, but yeah, no, it's dead at the moment, absolutely dead. But it is notoriously windy going over this ridge. So I'm always a bit wary about where I pitch and how I pitch, and make sure that I look online at the wind directions for during the night. More often than not, it will tack and I'll end up in the wrong position. There is quite a lot of cow dung about, but it's old. I'm looking at it's well dried out now, which makes me think I'm probably safe in regards to cattle, because sometimes they can be a wee bit boisterous up here. I'm pretty much on the third spot. There is what probably is a wee riverbed during the winter down here, but that's dried out completely, so there's no water there. And it's not quite as smooth, I think, as my first one. I'm going to go back down and we'll just go for the first option. I think it looked really nice. Yeah, sorry, I'm just passing through. You can carry on grazing. I'm heading down here. Okay, after much agonising, I've decided on this spot. The wind is due to come in from behind the camera towards me here, but I think what I will do is put the head up that way. I don't think there's going to be anything significantly windy that I have to worry about. And the little tent I've got tonight is the Black Diamond distance tent. I'm hoping that I've got the pegs in here. It's about 750 grams. As you can see, not much bigger than an Nalgene bottle, and uses your walking poles. So yeah, keeping it simple. So I've gone for a pitch where I'm slightly head up for a decent sleep. The wind, as I say, will come in probably about here. That means it will go through the main vent, but hopefully if there's no rain, shouldn't drive through because you can't close the vent. And that'll also mean my door is facing north in the off chance we get some northern lights or anything else exciting on the loch. Should afford a nice view, and I can probably just cook. There is no vestibule in this, so it probably means I can cook roughly where the rucksack is, and hopefully I'm slightly out the wind. And it looks like we're about to have a near miss. Private plane and another small plane. Good distance in altitude, to be honest. So for those of you that don't follow my channel or maybe haven't seen this tent before, this one comes with these adapters that go around your walking pole handles. You can actually get them with a dedicated black diamond walking pole that fits the tent directly without the need for these, and saves a bit more weight. But you have to buy the kind of black diamond distance products for them all to match. And this has a hole in the top, and there's a DAC or DAC crossbar goes across and creates the ridge pole. And then there's just two Velcro straps, which you just press round there, and that's it, nearly secure. There we go. So that's me. I've got the poles not the correct length yet, but you just pop them up to about 125 or so. Pop these in there, and then lift the pole up to tension it. I'm about, I don't know what it is, 125 roughly centimetres. Seems taut enough, I think. On that side, feels pretty good. That's easier because it just locks off, that one. Then I put the guy line round the pole to take some of the pressure off the tent fabric. It doesn't actually tell you to do that in the black diamond instructions, but I do it. And we'll just peg that down securely. We'll tension up the rear pegging points. Right, yeah, there you go, that's better. Push that. I've actually forgotten a peg. So the centre one here, which is optional, and I've put a bit of guy line on it. I may not use, I'll try and find a rock just for safety's sake. But that is it. Doesn't get much simpler than that. As I say, I'll try and get a rock and hold this down. No door on this side. It's actually a two-person tent, believe it or not, or so Black Diamond claim. And some Americans I've seen do it. I think you'd have to be slightly mad or very intimate with each other. So there's a wee kind of woodland down below me there, and some of the trees have been knocked over. Sort of found off a dead branch here. Just get rid of the remaining fir cones. Probably just leave that as it is. We'll use that as a last peg. Yeah, just gives that wee extra bit of tension. So if you saw my wind test video up on Whiteley Wind Farm, I was a bit concerned that when the wind's really howling, 20 mile an hour plus probably, this flap lifts up and could probably get water in the zip here, which is not a waterproof zip. So I've made a wee mod here with a magnet at the centre point, which I'm not sure just how much wind it will take or whether it will come unclip, but we'll give it a go. If I need to get a stronger magnet, I'll put one in. At the moment they're just on with adhesive tyre patches, so I can remove them without doing any damage to the tent or affecting its waterproofness. Anyway, I waffle, it opens the zip quite nicely still as well. And there you go. So let's get the mat up first so we don't puncture anything under here, and we'll get everything in. The breeze has just actually picked up out of nowhere there. I can feel it coming straight over here. Anyway, the tent should be strong enough. I've brought the 4-class MT900 again. So yeah, last week on Damayet, it must have gone well below zero and I was struggling. I went to bed cold as well, which was a problem. But I'm hoping tonight, I think it'll only be about 4 degrees above minimum, maybe 2 or 3. So this should be fine. But again, keeping it nice and light, even in the large size, this is 945 grams. So not too shabby. It's 800 full power down. Duck down, so yeah, it's pretty good. I'm also using a wee cheap Decathlon pillow. Can't decide whether I like this or not. It does, in some ways it's quite good. Sometimes I wake up with a sore neck. I don't know if it's slightly too high for me. Well, I just need to deflate it a bit more. I'm keeping it quite soft anyway. I've also gone for my go-to mat, which is the Light Tour Winter Mat, 7 point something R rating. So a rival to the Neo Air Xtherm. I find it more comfortable. I'm still a wee bit uncertain about the long-term reliability of it, and ultimately I don't think it's quite as warm but I've still used it directly on ice and snow, and I haven't been cold, as long as you keep it inflated enough. Otherwise, you can get a wee. I find I get a wee cold spot at my hip. I could get another one in here. They'd have to be mummies because they'd cross over at the bottom. It's a wee bit narrower at the bottom. But 2 mummy bags in there, yeah, you definitely could do it with 2 people. Your gear, I think, would definitely have to be outside, or maybe tucked up the back here. Oh, right, that's me unpacked. Wow, what a view for such an easy wee walk. That's why I like coming here. It's also a good place to test, wind test tents. I hope you don't mind me coming back to somewhere if you follow me regularly. I've kind of seen these views a few times. I never tire of it, to be honest. Yeah, amazing. And it honestly is like summer. I actually think I may have got a wee bit of tan in the last couple of hours just walking around the beach, kind of doing a wee circular route. So tomorrow morning, back to work. So yeah, it'll be easy to decant, go uphill a bit and then back down in a circle so I don't repeat myself. Trouble with this pitch area is I can actually hear the motorbikes away over on the A82, which is the main road on the far side of Loch Lomond that heads north and south. And considering this is the biggest body of water, at least in Scotland I think, if not England as well, it's surprising just how far the sound travels. But then I guess that's because it is just so still tonight. Well, for the moment, really still. So you hear absolutely everything. Let's just check that works. Yep. Good. So I've got the Soto Windmaster again tonight and the Fire Maple G3. I think it's G3, I can't remember. Anyway, the combination is very effective. I've got a faltering gas lighter which I forgot to fill up before I came out. Bit of a faux pas, but I've also got a fire steel as a backup, so it should be good for hot food tonight. A wee bit chillier now, unsurprisingly. Now the sun's gone down and the wind's got up a wee bit. It's a wee bit gusty now and again. It's the same old story here. It can be very still and then all of a sudden you get gusts come rattling through, but nothing to trouble that tent at the moment. Right, time to get the main course on. Chili non carne. I've just lost a lighter in the dark, so I'm just going to try and use this. There we go. It's a bit aggressive. Let's turn that down a bit. It's a bit there today. Yeah. That's probably better. Get the damn thing back on the pot stand. The only trouble with this maple thing is it's quite awkward to get on. Well, I've just finished my dinner. That chili con carne was lovely. Absolutely stuffed. So I may have a pudding, I may not. We'll decide in a wee minute. But yeah, it's lovely just watching all the lights appearing now on the loch on the far side over there. And then there's over here is Luss, and then over here, if you can see my finger, Inverbeg. And then down towards, I'll swing you around actually, hold on, let's see if I can get over here. I think that will be Cameron House area. Boardman Jim, you'll be able to confirm, because old Jim I think used to run, or does run, a landscaping team at the hotel. And then if we go over this way, we're looking over towards Balloch, I think. There's also a lone wee light in the centre of your screen there. I think it's somebody possibly camping. I see the light changing all the time, like it's somebody with a head torch in the woods up there, further up from the road in the loch. So I don't know whether it's a walker or whatever, but it looks like they're camped up for the night. There's a head torch pocket come general pocket up here. I can stick the head torch in, just so when I'm lying in here I can read. And I've also got the candle lantern with me, which is a wee bit of a luxury considering I was trying to save some weight. But I think the overall pack weight was probably about 5 to 6 kilos, so not too bad. And that's carrying a 1 kilo rucksack included, so I could have gone maybe the smaller low alpine bag. But yeah, I'll maybe try that and even lighten my load even more next time around in this kind of weather. But yeah, all good so far, loving it. And it's a great view, beautiful spot, and very, very quiet. Nobody's troubling me at all. Haven't seen a soul. Right, coffee's on. Certainly plenty of room in here, that's for sure. It's actually quite, for such a minimalist tent, it's very comfortable inside. You can see I've got the little head torch on up here. This is going to come out in April. I can't really tell you an awful lot about this yet, but I will do in due course. But yeah, so yeah, it's quite comfy. I've had 3 courses, some bickies, some peanuts, some whiskey, which I think was probably the Macallan 18-year-old maybe, or it might have been a Jura, not sure, but anyway it's slipped out nicely. So yeah, I'm just chilling out, listening to radio and just editing some of the video just now. Right, I'm going to brush my teeth and then I'm going to head in and watch a couple of videos, get an early night, and then I'm up in the morning. Got to get back to work unfortunately, but it's been a beautiful night. Really enjoyed it. Nobody around, really quiet, really peaceful, great views and a nice dinner. What more can a guy ask for? Right everyone, I am off to my kip. I'm going to just do a wee bit of editing while I'm lying down, and barring any disasters I will see you all in the morning. Cheers. Yeah, good wee night last night. Actually slept not bad. It went from dead still to some pretty windy gusts, which really rattled the tent, but it's very, very solid. It gives you a lot of confidence, this wee lightweight tent actually. And the condensation was minimal, just a wee skim here and there, and a tiny little bit of damp on the foot box where it touches the bottom. The tent's a bit low and a bit short. So yeah, that's one of the things that annoyed me about it when I first got one of these, but I'm actually on my 3rd one now. So yeah, it makes up for it in its simplicity and the speed of pitching and its strength actually in the wind, because you do feel pretty confident. Here we go. Hate that noise. Another trip over. wrap. Thank you everyone again for watching the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel before, please give us a wee subscribe or even a like if you're a subscriber. Really appreciate it, it really helps on YouTube. And I'm just going to head down the car, I'm about 10 minutes away, and then back to work unfortunately. But hopefully that showed you just a nice, easy, simple pare your gear down and keep it light. It means you could just nip out the last minute and enjoy a wee quick overnight in between shifts. And I really enjoyed it. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you out there for the next one. Cheers.